Hi, Doc Kennedy here, with my two French friends Claire and Jacques. Today we are going to look at what you might say when you meet an acquaintance out on the street. First, let's look at the short clip where three French people are talking. They'll be talking at natural speed, which may seem fast at first. Don't worry, we'll be having an in-depth look, and by the end of the next lesson, you will understand it perfectly.
Tiens, voilà Mademoiselle Courtois. Bonjour Janine.
Bonjour madame. Comment allez-vous?
Très bien, merci. Permettez-moi de vous présenter Monsieur Lelong.
Je suis heureux de faire votre connaissance, mademoiselle.
Bonjour monsieur.
Avez-vous des nouvelles de votre frère?
Oui, merci. Il est à Lyon maintenant.
Vos parents sont-ils toujours en vacances?
Oui, et ma sœur est avec eux.
Transmettez-leur mon meilleur souvenir.
Il manquerait pas. Excusez-moi, je suis pressée. À bientôt, j'espère.
Au revoir Janine.
Au revoir monsieur.
Au revoir, mademoiselle.
Now let's take a look at what was said. First, Mrs. Durham says, "Well, there's Miss Courtois."
Tiens, voilà Mademoiselle Courtois.
Let's break it down. First here's Miss Courtois,
Mademoiselle Courtois.
and now there's Miss Courtois,
Voilà Mademoiselle Courtois.
and now, well, there's Miss Courtois.
Tiens, voilà Mademoiselle Courtois.
Now you say, well, there's Miss Courtois.
Tiens, voilà Mademoiselle Courtois.
From lesson 9, do you remember how to say, it's a 1:15?
Il est 1h15.
Now Mrs. Durham says hello to Miss Courtois, whose first name is Janine.
Bonjour Janine. Bonjour Janine.
Now you say, hello Janine.
Bonjour Janine.
Janine says hello back to Mrs. Durand, more formally, using madam.
Bonjour madame. Bonjour madame.
Now you say, hello, madam.
Bonjour madame.
Janine continues by asking Mrs. Durand, how are you?
Comment allez-vous? Comment allez-vous?
Now you say, how are you?
Comment allez-vous?
From lesson 6, do you remember how to ask, are you going out tomorrow?
Sortez-vous demain?
Good. So Mrs. Durand then says, very well, thank you.
Très bien, merci. Très bien, merci.
Now you say, very well, thank you.
Très bien, merci.
Mrs. Durand continues with, may I introduce Mr. Lelong to you? Or more precisely, allow me to present to you, Mr. Lelong.
Permettez-moi de vous présenter Monsieur Lelong.
Let's break that down. First, Mr. Lelong.
Monsieur Lelong.
Now, introduce Mr. Lelong to you. The word order is you, introduce, Mr. Lelong.
Vous présentez Monsieur Lelong.
And now the full sentence, may I introduce Mr. Lelong to you?
Permettez-moi de vous présenter Monsieur Lelong.
Now you say, may I introduce Mr. Lelong to you?
Permettez-moi de vous présenter Monsieur Lelong.
Now Mr. Lelong says, I'm happy to meet you, miss, or more accurately, I'm happy to make your acquaintance, miss.
Je suis heureux de faire votre connaissance, mademoiselle.
That went by quick, so let's break it down. First, miss.
Mademoiselle.
Your acquaintance, miss.
Votre connaissance, mademoiselle.
Make your acquaintance, miss.
Faire votre connaissance, mademoiselle.
And now the full sentence, I'm happy to make your acquaintance, miss.
Je suis heureux de faire votre connaissance, mademoiselle.
Now you say, I'm happy to make your acquaintance, miss.
Je suis heureux de faire votre connaissance, mademoiselle.
Janine says hello to Mr. Lelong.
Bonjour monsieur. Bonjour monsieur.
Now you say, hello sir.
Bonjour monsieur.
From lesson 2, say, tell me your name.
Dites-moi votre nom.
Then Mrs. Durant asks about Janine's family. First, do you have news from your brother?
Avez-vous des nouvelles de votre frère?
Breaking it down, we start with your brother.
Votre frère?
Then, news from your brother.
Des nouvelles de votre frère?
And the full, do you have news from your brother?
Avez-vous des nouvelles de votre frère?
Now you say, do you have news from your brother?
Avez-vous des nouvelles de votre frère?
Well done. We'll continue in the next lesson. Feel free to rewind and repeat this lesson as many times as you need to until you remember the phrases. Then move on to lesson 11 to cover the second half of the conversation. Be sure to click the subscribe button so that you will be notified when there are new lessons. See you next time.